Damit kommen wir zum ersten deutschen Teilnehmer an diesem Freitagabend hier in der zweiten Session der Happy Bad German Darts Open 2017. 20 Jahre ist er jung, er ist der deutsche Meister von 2016, hat sich im Januar dieses Jahres in der Qualifying School die Tourcard sichern können für 2 Jahre und er hat sich zum wiederholten Male für das Hauptfeld auf der European Tour qualifiziert. Wir drücken ihm die Daumen aus Berlin, The Wall, Martin Schindler! Martin Schindler nimmt es mit einem Mann auf, der die Players Championship Finals 2010 gewinnen konnte. Ein ehemaliger Top-10-Spieler, der in den letzten 2 Jahren aber sportlich einige Probleme hatte. Er ist abgerutscht, er ist aktuell die 94 der Welt und er hat sich viel vorgenommen für 2017. Er will wieder zurück in die Weltspitze und er hatte sich vor allem vorgenommen, auf der European Tour wieder in die Hauptfelder zu kommen. Das ist ihm in Hildesheim gelungen, das ist ihm jetzt hier in Saarbrücken gelungen. Wir freuen uns, dass er da ist. The Asset, Paul Nicholson!
Well, a former major champion and an up-and-coming young name in the world of darts. It's Paul v. the Wall, Nicholson versus Schindler. As the Asset, the former Players Champion, takes on the host nation qualifier. Young man from Strasbourg near Berlin, hence the nickname The Wall. I know that Nicholson has expressed quite a lot of admiration for Martin Schindler's walk-on. I spoke to Shindy earlier on and he was saying, well, yeah, he gets to see it close up now. And he's out there to give it to him tonight, Martin Schindler, although he was a little bit nervous. He said, I haven't seen Paul play lately since he sort of made his comeback. Is he still sort of quite shouty and aggressive? He seemed a little bit nervous. But this is the new Paul Nicholson. This is the new, unfinable Paul Nicholson. Well, possibly. Let's see if there are any antics or if we just get some top quality darts from these two. Dan Dawson in the commentary box, Chris Murphy alongside me.
Yeah, well, they've been on a jolly journey together so far. This pair both came through qualifying school on the same day. Although Nicholson probably didn't need to turn up for that day, but went through as a winner anyway. Martin Schindler, perhaps, to some, one of the surprise names to qualify. Well, Paul Nicholson may have been a surprise to some people, if you consider the form that he'd shown before turning up at Q School.
First leg, Martin to throw first. Game on.
But yeah, you're right, Dan. Paul Nicholson has declared his admiration for Martin Schindler's style. Loves his nickname. Martin Schindler says that Paul Nicholson told him that he's got the coolest nickname and walk-on song in darts.
Wow, quite the compliment. But then again, this is coming from a man who's just done the John Travolta dance up on stage. So how much stock you put in that, I don't know. Nicholson selfishly qualifying for this event,
100,
leaving us to fend for ourselves in the commentary box. Martin Schindler used to work at these events when he wasn't playing as well. He worked on the doors, he was a steward. Not like a bouncer, I mean he's about 4'6".
Is this leading to somewhere that in 2022 Murphy and Dawson will be on that stage somehow?
I'm not sure what alternative universe that will happen, but presumably there is
100.
one, at least one.
Well, Nicholson, when he qualified for the German Darts Championship in Hildesheim, that was his first appearance
40
on stage, apart from when he was interviewing a player with you after a tournament, for 3 years.
Yeah.
This is a man who's reached 2 European Tour finals. Go back to 2013, he was beaten 6-5 by Wes Newton in the European Darts Trophy.
Wes Newton?
Wes Newton, indeed. And in 2012, by his Aussie teammate, Simon Whitlow. thrashed him 6-1, but Nicholson did get to the final, and he's a man who's won 4 PDC titles as well, including, as you mentioned at the start of the match, a big one, the Players' Championship in 2010.
Martin Schindler just having a little trouble getting his darts to stay on the board. Beating a former major champion is going to be tricky enough, but if you're only throwing 2 darts per visit, it's going to be even harder.
It's like he's throwing them at a wall.
99.
Or one of them. The other 2 seem to be staying in fine. You never know whether it's just a bit of bad luck or whether there's perhaps a point that's not sharp enough.
140.
The problem with one of the darts.
I think that's just the flight that's come off there. So
160.
3 visits, 1 dart has not entered the board. Now, Nicholson, the asset. Well, that would have been a bit of a blow for Schindler early on.
Martin, you require 96.
Throwing 2 darts a visit, he's managed to get himself down to 96, which he only needs 2 for.
May do it in 2. Ooh. Wouldn't mind that one falling out. Stubbornly staying in there though, so 99. Oh, he's bust it!
No score.
Busts his score on 96.
All
Martin Schindler.
60.
Wasn't a badly thrown dart, just slipping into the wrong bed.
Well, Nico can't believe his luck. He nearly bust it. Raise of the brows. He knew it. But he's nailed the double top.
Leg. Paul Nicholson.
And broken the throw in the very first leg.
Second leg, Paul to throw first. Game on.
Well, 1 busted score, 1 almost busted. Interesting to see. I think probably we've all learned a bit more about Paul Nicholson since he's stepped into the commentary box
60.
and given us his insights. He does a lot of media work, obviously. He's been involved in World Series, the Darts Show, obviously doing this Euro Tour stuff, but he's done it on the telly as well. He's done it at the Champions League of Darts. He's perhaps shown a different side to his character, because at times,
80.
the Paul Nicholson on stage, the quite fired up, intense character, is quite a long way away from the Paul Nicholson off stage. And that is the Paul Nicholson of old.
Well, if you want a bad boy, bring it on, Nicholson said, didn't he? He was putting Phil Taylor to bed and all sorts, sitting on the stage.
60.
Yeah, it was always entertaining when Paul Nicholson was on stage.
Now he's wearing these rather reserved polo-style shirts. He used to don Harrington-style gear, didn't he, as well? But look at this!
180.
Wow, Paul Nicholson. 2 180s in this leg. Beat himself 81. Schindler can't find a 180, but even had he done so, it wouldn't have got him down to a finish.
81.
Treble 10 now.
49.
He'll be back for his favourite double. Paul Nicholson. Maybe under a bit of pressure.
140. We require 32.
Oh, boos for the bad boy. Not because his was the bad boy, because he's playing a German opponent.
16.
But it may niggle him.
It may do.
I
I think we get to see this in the renaissance of Paul Nicholson, how he handles what could be a hostile crowd.
We'll watch with intrigue.
Is that in? Or is it a bullseye he's looking for? It is the bullseye he wants. And there it is! Martin Schindler breaks straight back with a bull finish. And the crowd enjoyed that one.
Martin to throw first.
I have to say, I was there on the final day of Q School when both of these guys won their tour cards, and Martin Schindler, I watched a number of his games, and he was excellent. Genuinely excellent, taking out a number of big finishes under pressure at crucial times in games. And I think, having seen him play before and thought, this lad's got some potential, It's only that final day at Q-Score I saw him producing some, excellent darts. He must have been averaging 100 in some of the games that I saw. But I thought, well, maybe he could actually make an impression in PDC darts. They've got very similar records for this year, in fact. Neither man qualified for the UK Open finals, despite playing all 6 events. Both of them had a run to the last 16 in the Players' Championship Series. So they get to have a big run in any of the Pro Tour events.
100.
But they've both been playing darts that suggest that one might be round the corner. Certainly Nicholson, I know he had, I think it was Raymond van Barneveld who did him in the last 16 in that Pro Tour run that he had.
140.
Yeah, he was 6-5 as well.
Mm.
You've got to admire Martin Schindler's bottle in that last leg, because Nicholson at 2 180s.
Mm.
Missed darts the double.
100.
Schindler had 1 at the bull, and that's all he needed.
Well, as you can see there, we're only 2.5 legs in. But Schindler knows that Nicholson is hitting a few more big scores than him, certainly at the start of legs. And yet, as things stand, it's still 1 apiece. All right, Nicholson's on a 2-dart finish to break and go 2-1 up. But if Schindler can leave himself handy here, he's in with a shout of going into the lead.
Although Nicholson was very impressive himself in his return to the European Tour stage against Ryan Searle. Then he came a cropper against Cristo Reyes.
Well, I think plenty of people will come a cropper against Cristo Reyes. It's still on. Still on. Double top for Nicholson. It is 3 consecutive breaks of throw.
Paul Nicholson.
Paul Nicholson back into the lead. Takes out 98 in...
Full flag Paul to throw first.
Not the end of the world that you hit the 1 with the first dart there, because 1 dart at tops might well have been preferable to 2 at double 19. Never quite sure with some players.
Well, this is impressive stuff. He's in some kind of zone, Paul Nicholson.
190.
His average will be topping a ton. Right.
Will be after that visit. It should be noted as well, we've talked a number of times about Benito van der Pas. Jelle Klaassen. It's Benito van der Pas who awaits the winner of this game. Just hold that thought. Oh, Nicholson, 5 perfect darts. I dread to think what would happen if Nicholson threw a 180. He'd probably run through here and try and comment out on the back end of it himself.
34.
Tell me about Jelle Klaassen.
Yeah, Jelle Klaassen, who's got this tendonitis problem in his hand, has been playing through the pain barrier, made a semi-final of the first Euro Tour and the final of the most recent one. But this is a problem that Paul Nicholson has struggled with for quite some time and is still struggling with it now. This week, he's only been able to do about an hour's practice. Spoke to him earlier on briefly, and he said that it's holding up. He's got some problems with his shoulder as well, as a long-standing issue. But the fact that he has come back into a bit of form, battled back from the brink, having to win back his tour card, and he's doing it with this injury problem, which kind of led to him losing his tour card, or contributed anyway. Well, very impressive.
It is, and we're only 3 legs into this match, but Nicholson's averaging 106. This is for an 11-dart leg. 12.
57.
It's a good job he wasn't on the 9, because that would have been as big a miss on the double 12 you've seen for the perfect leg. It's another very strong leg of darts here from Paul Nicholson in what could well be the first hold of throw we've had in this match. Schindler needed a ton to get down to a finish. He hasn't got it, so Paul Nicholson has got dart after dart after dart to close this out. And he only needs 1.
The full flag, Paul Nicholson.
3-1.
Paul Nicholson setting the standard here for the German Darts Open in Saarbrücken. As well, in getting here, let's not overlook who he beat in qualifying.
60.
Oh, well.
6-4 wins against Daryl Gurney and then Richie Bennett.
Yeah, 2 very, very strong wins there. I know Richie Bennett is a player who we've seen blow hot and cold on his return to the full Pro Tour, but Daryl Gurney, well, it's been pretty much non-stop heat from Super Chin, winning his first title just a couple of weeks ago with Schindler.
125.
Still searching for his first 180.
Well, he went on after that, Gurney, to win 13 games in a row, didn't he? And lost to Joe Cullen in the second final for a Pro Tour double header. So
well, one bullseye away from 14 wins in a row, 2 titles in 2 days.
60.
And I believe he is still sat at the top of the Players' Championship Order of Merit, thanks to his weekend there. Look at those numbers from Paul Nicholson. I know we're 4.5 legs in, but
46.
just enjoy it. 120 first 9 average. MVG would be alright with that.
Astronomical from the assets. You see him in the background as well, kind of 10-second meditation routine sometimes when he's trying to visualise the next visit.
Yeah, he has tried various things, including meditation, Paul Nicholson. That, finally, is Martin Schindler's first maximum. And threatening to do it. Now looking good for a second leg on the ball.
Well, barring those 2
58.
big misses at double
Martin
12,
Nicholson, 90.
his darts have been very well grouped. Paul Nicholson very tight around in and around the treble 20. Schindler went for the bullseye. That's left 76. Choices here. Could be double-double. I went for the treble. Nicholson on a big finish. Well,
And he has hit a double. He didn't mean
66.
to. No real harm done. He's left a good
We
double in the
require
end.
160.
well, even confused George Noble.
Takes some doing that, let me tell you.
Martin required 24.
Now then, Shindy to close the gap to just 1 leg, double 12. Oh my word, that's a shocker. That's even worse than the 2 Nicholson had at double 12. It certainly made things very difficult. Double 6.
18.
12.
Well, and earlier
we
on,
require 100.
Schindler bust a score of 96 at that side of the board as well, missing the double 9 and dragging it into the 14. But this, well, may stay there because there's a lie. No, he's gone tops, and he's hit the first one. And the second, 100 check out from Paul Nicholson.
Paul Nicholson.
And he's silencing the Schindler fans in the crowd. 4-1 lead.
An absolute
Paul to
steal
throw
from the
first.
asset there. He was nowhere in that leg, but just crept up behind Schindler. And for all the admiration that Paul Nicholson has expressed for little Martin Schindler and his attitude, his talent, his walk-on, his nickname, he's shown absolutely no respect for him on the dartboard, and that's
60.
exactly how it should be. Nicholson's one of these players who, you know, at his best, he was very
39.
good at timing. Like James Wade, he produced the right shot at the right time. He was not a 110 average man. He didn't do that kind of stuff, but he'd take out a big shot when it really mattered. And we've seen that in this game already, because the darts that he's missed, he's averaging 40% on his doubles.
97.
But he missed a couple on double 12 when it didn't really matter. He did miss 3 at double 16. But just then, big shot, 100 out, double, takes it out. When the pressure is on, he can
45.
find something and rise to those moments and find his best darts. And they're the ones, those big shots at crucial times, they can turn games in your favour. And that's what taken James Wade to multiple major titles. It's what contributed to Paul Nicholson
41.
winning the Players' Championship finals. But he's made the quarter-final of every major in existence, apart from the match play. That's the one place, Blackpool Winter Gardens, he's never gone past the second round. But you don't do that without having the ability to come through tight games against the best
62.
players in the world, and Paul Nicholson has done that.
One of those games at the match play, I remember well, there was an extra time clash against Wes Newton, and Wes took out 160 to knock him out. With Nicholson
95.
on a double, or at least 25 or something like that. So it has been close, and he has, yeah, he's graced all the big stages and performed very, very
100.
well. Who can forget the World Cup of Darts with Simon Whitlaw?
Nicholson involved in a very obvious battle with Kim Huybrechts. Ronnie Huybrechts and Whitlock, the other partners, just kind of bemused.
100.
Yeah, and before that they'd reached the final. when every player on the stage had a dart to win the tournament. Adrian Lewis did the job for England.
Okay, well, Martin Schindler's just kept himself interested in this leg. 108 plays 1-2-1. If this goes, it might be curtains.
The way he's playing, I think it probably will go down.
It's a big call.
76.
Not a million miles away now. Martin Schindler, it's your turn to step up at a crucial moment and take out a big finish. Can you do it? Treble 17 for Ball. Gets the treble. Bullseye. He's hit it once this match already for an 86 checkout. Can he do it for a 1-2-1? There's only one target, Martin.
It's still there.
Oh, not this time. Martin Schindler.
32.
Could he be about to go 5-1 down to Paul Nicholson and leave himself a mountain to climb here? Double 16 for the asset. Looks to be a good guide. He's moving to the left, which is curious. May look at the top of the bed. Yeah, just goes straight in over the top of it. 5-1 to Nicholson. And Martin Schindler must win the last 5 legs, or the young German's hopes will be coming to an end in round 1 of the German Darts Open. It's interesting, Martin Schindler, now he has his tour card. He was saying that the host nation qualifies for these European Tour events. He kind of sees himself as a target. He says that all these other guys who perhaps don't have the profiles that he has see him as a scalp, and they raise their game for him as Nicholson fires in a 4th maximum here. And Martin's only just starting out, and he's still got a lot to prove here, and yet he is still a leading light in German darts. And maybe he's already feeling the pressure of that, because Germany is crying out for a top player.
Well, out of the 4 in action today, we said that Schindler was probably the best hope. Although Bernd Royf did get through.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Bernd Royf back again.
In an unforgettable match against Brian Woods.
Well, it'll certainly take me a long while to forget that one. Well, look at this. Good numbers. Good numbers from Paul Nicholson. 97 overall, 114 for the first 9. Very, very impressive. And he is looking to close out a 6-1 win. He's desperate to find the treble there, which would have just rounded it off nicely at 100, a checkout that he's already taken out. But Schindler is struggling to get to a finish of any kind, and now it's not going to happen. And Nicholson's got the 138, which we're contractually obliged to mention Keith Deller, but I'm not even going to expand on that.
Well, I don't think he'll go that way. I think he'll go treble 19. No, he's going that way, look. Should have gone treble 19.
Well, single 18 will do.
But of course, the winner of this takes on Benito van der Pas, who was knocked out by Robbie John Rodriguez in the second round last week.
60.
Benito's not really hit the heights of last year so far this year.
Yeah, and if you've seen this performance from Nicholson, ramped up the pressure a little bit on Big Ben. It's a big performance from Nicholson until that dart really pulled that one. Double 10.
30.
Well, Schindler will get a shot. It's a long shot, but it's a shot all the same.
Well, this is the sort of thing that Martin Schindler was taking out at Q School on the final day. But it's not really gone for him today. Not really shown what he's capable of today, Martin Schindler. And Paul Nicholson looking for just 10 points to close out a 6-1 win. And set up a meeting with the number 4 seed Benito van der Pas tomorrow. There it is. Look at the TV now, Benito. Paul Nicholson is coming for you. Schindler dispatched in just 7 legs. And this commentator fella, he can still play a bit, don't worry about that. Coming up now, we've got another debutant on the European Tour, and one I am dying to see in action. Rob Cross, a winner on the PDC Pro Tour already this year in his fledgling professional career, takes on Jeffrey de Graaf, who certainly gave us some entertaining games last weekend in Jena.
In die zweite Runde ein. Ja, mein Gott. Paul, congratulations. 6-1, it's a solid win, average around 94, 95. Satisfied with that?
Very happy indeed. I felt very nervous tonight because, as a lot of people know, I came through Q School on day 4 just like Martin, and I'm a big fan of that kid. I think he and Max hold the key to German darts for the future, and I like playing against the German guys, but not in front of the German crowd. It's pretty difficult, but I was nervous tonight, but I overcame it, and it's a solid performance.
What's the situation with you now? Where are you right now? 80%, 90%? Is it difficult to say?
I think about 75% is about right. I've got a pretty dodgy shoulder, but I've got some good ointment and some good tape on my shoulder just to keep me together. I'm falling to pieces. But I really want to be on the stage, and looking at who I beat to get through here to the stage, like Darryl Gurney and Richie Burnett, it shows how much I want to be here. And I don't just want to make up the numbers. I want to win in Germany. I said that to Sebastian this morning. I want it more than anything else, and I'm not going to stop until I do.
Okay. See you tomorrow again. Thank you, Paul. Paul Nicholson.